Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome into the show. We are talking about league winners for the upcoming fantasy season. So I'm going to start right here with the first player on my list, and that is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Now, this is a guy who has massive upside this coming season. Massive upside. I think he's going to finish as a top 3 wide receiver in fantasy overall. I mean, this is a guy who is being force-fed the ball at this point in his offense. He had 106 receptions this past year. This was top 5 in the NFL. We know that he can run after the catch. He was top 5 in the NFL in yards after the catch this past season. So the big playability is there. The ridiculous amount of targets is there. The red zone targets are going to be plentiful this next season for Amon-Ra St. Brown. And so you got to figure that considering that he's going to be an absolute target hog and the entire offense is going to run through him, the upside for Amon-Ra St. Brown is unbelievable this coming season. The sky is the limit. I think he has a very good chance to be a top 3 wide receiver in fantasy. So you need to get this guy on your fantasy team. Next player on my list is going to be Rhamondre Stevenson. Now, Rhamondre Stevenson, guys, went from 18 targets in his first season to 88 targets in his second season. He is now kind of turning into the new Alvin Kamara. He's being fed so many targets out of the backfield that there are games where he literally sees more targets than rushing attempts, which is really great for PPR leagues. I mean, he's going to have games where he comes out and gets you over 10 targets in a game next season. So this is a guy who has the potential on any given week to have 10-plus targets in a game. He has ridiculous rushing efficiency. He ran the ball for 5 yards a carry this past season. So he's an elite pass-catching back. He's an elite rusher. He has all the talent in the world. He's clearly taken over the running back 1 role in the offense for the Patriots. He's going to be used heavily this year. The entire offense is going to run through Rhamondre Stevenson. So I love him to have a massive breakout season. I mean, he kind of already broke out this past year, but I'm talking about like the kind of breakout season where he could be the number 1 running back in all of fantasy. If he was the number 1 running back in fantasy this coming season, I would not be all that surprised. And right now in mock drafts, he's being taken like late 3rd round, early 4th round. He's a massive steal at this point. You need to get your hands on this guy. He's young and extremely talented. He's only had a little bit over 300 carries in his career. He's going into his 3rd season. The legs are fresh. We know that youth dominates at the running back position. So, guys, get your hands on Rhamondre Stevenson. This guy's going to win leagues. Next player on my list is going to be Deshaun Watson. Now, I'm not going to get too far into the Deshaun Watson statistics because, well, he didn't play that many games this past season, but we know that this guy is one of the most talented dual-threat quarterbacks in the league. Now, we haven't seen this guy play a full season in a while, so a lot of people are forgetting about this. And because of this recency bias, this is the only reason he's being taken late in drafts. It absolutely makes no sense. A quarterback of this caliber that has this kind of dual threat ability should always be a top 5 wide receiver. A top 5 quarterback off the board. And he's going as quarterback 15 right now. This makes absolutely no sense. He has similar talent to Josh Allen in both his rushing abilities and passing abilities. And he's got a number 1 wide receiver in Amari Cooper to throw the ball to. So the Browns offense is going to be very efficient next season. Deshaun Watson is going to be the main benefactor of this. He's hands down the biggest steal in the draft right now. And he's going to be a massive league winner because of this in the 2023 season. So get your hands on Deshaun Watson. Next player on my list is going to be Chris Olave. Now, what a rookie season for Chris Olave. This guy was 3rd in the league in air yards. He was top 10 in the league in his yards per route run, and he saw a 26.7% target share. What a ridiculous target share and air yard share for a rookie. They have all the confidence in the world in Chris Olave. They're going to be airing him the ball out. The big playability is always there because they love to throw him the ball down the field. This guy has wicked speed and the ability to get open downfield, thus providing awesome big play ability. So considering the fact that he's going to see a ton of targets this next season, and a lot of those are going to be deep targets, he has massive weekly ceiling. He's the kind of guy that can come out on any given week and give you over 150 receiving yards. And you got to figure that the red zone targets are going to go up a little bit this coming season. He only had 11 red zone targets this past year, but considering the fact that they love Chris Olave as their number 1 option and there's going to be no more Michael Thomas on the team, the red zone targets are going to go up because, it's his second season, and we know that wide receivers tend to kind of break out in their second season in fantasy. So I love the red zone targets to go up, which is really the only downside to Chris Olave's rookie season. So everything is going to be set for him to have a monster season in 2023, and he's going to be one of the biggest league winners in all of fantasy. Right now, he's going in like the 5th or 6th round. This guy's a massive steal. Get your hands on this guy. Next player and final player on my list is going to be James Conner. Now, this is a guy who ran 280 routes this past season. Now, this is a guy who was never known for being a pass-catching back. He was supposed to be primarily a rusher and not really see a whole lot of passing volume, but when Chase Edmonds left the team over last offseason, I was saying all year that James Conner is going to see by far and away more passing volume out of the backfield than he ever had. That's exactly what happened. 280 routes this guy ran. He was top 10 in the league as far as routes run at the running back position. Okay. He was a top 8 running back. He was a top 5 running back in his last 8 games of the season. This guy was absolutely dominant in the back half of the season. He had 46 receptions this past year, so the reception totals are way up. This guy is going to absolutely dominate PPR formats going forward in fantasy football. So considering the fact that he is a very talented running back and he's now playing in an offense that's going to give him all the workload with very few competition for touches, I love his upside this coming season, and I think he's going to be a massive league winner in fantasy. All right, guys, I do appreciate you tuning into the video, and I will catch you later.